My jealous friend stole my baby's name. I exploded and told our friend group.
Steal her baby.
Steal her baby?
Steal her baby in return.
Would I be the a-hole if I cut off a friend? We'll call her Trish and her husband Joe. We love context, right? Great. There's plenty of history. My husband, 30 male, and I, 29 female, dated for a short time before he proposed. His best friend Joe and his girlfriend Trish have been together nearly 8 years. No ring. I don't see no ring on it. By the way, this comes from user HerkleDurkle9000. And if you want to submit your own little HerkleDurkles, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit and put your stories there. Trish had been nice to me, but it all changed after we got engaged. Anytime our wedding got brought up at a friend's gatherings, she'd huff and storm off, or just plain leave to escape the conversation. She acted super weird, and Joe started selling everything and got her a ring. All she wanted to talk about was their wedding. They picked a date a little less than a month after ours and asked us to be in their wedding, which we agreed to because we're great friends. Right? Trish made planning our wedding a nightmare. All she did was complain and was always saying she couldn't wait for it to be over. My husband and I were so excited for our wedding. He was so involved in planning. As we planned, we shared details of those plans. Big mistake. Our friends threatened not to come to our wedding if our first dance was to a particular song because it's their song. They even approached my husband by himself and asked him not to play the song at all or dance to it. My husband agreed and broke the news to me later. During planning our wedding, Trish was constantly reaching out and asking what we were doing for songs and other small details. 6 months out from our wedding, Trish's mom called my then fiance asking what was going on and why didn't I have a bridesmaid dress yet. Issues about me wearing sunglasses, me smoking the devil's lettuce in my personal time, never around anyone, and finally, why wasn't I going to be at her bridal shower? I RSVP'd to her mother-in-law as requested on the invite, but I had the wrong phone number, so they never got it. I found out later it was the wrong number because the person finally texted me back and said wrong number a month or so after Trish and Joe's wedding. The mother-in-law sent a card in the mail and I texted thank you for my card and the person on the other end said they weren't the mother-in-law. I don't have a bridesmaid dress because I didn't even have my wedding dress yet. My mom passed in 2015 and I really dreaded the shopping and trying on because she wouldn't be there. I ended up getting my dress from a local on Marketplace and tried the dress on at our small town seamstress. Also, what really hurts me about Trish is how she treats her mother and mother-in-law. When I first noticed how bridezilla she was when we went and watched her try on dresses. Mom, mother-in-law, myself, and maid of honor. Trish was absolutely nasty and entitled to her mother the whole time, and she was disgustingly rude to her mother-in-law. Her mom was primping her hair and the dress, and she just kept making nasty faces and swatting at her mom's hands. She didn't start acting right until her mom pulled out all the credit cards. Cards to pay for the dress, plural. To add, at the dress shopping for her wedding, she had a pile of reject dresses and the lady took them out of the room. The one dress, I absolutely loved it, but didn't want to push it onto her. She wanted to change a bunch of stuff about it and essentially make it a new dress. I didn't want to change a thing besides the size. I didn't vocalize that I wanted this to be my dress while the rejects were still in the room because it wasn't about me in this moment. We took a break to get her more dresses to try, so everyone was off in the aisles browsing. I went to the desk and got a separate sales associate and asked about this specific dress, which was outside of the room in the rejected pile. She gave me the dress information and I said that I would come back for it tomorrow, and she took my information. This took all of 5 minutes.
John, we're gonna get back to the story, but I gotta tell you, I've been loving these pearls that I got in Colombia.
You are a delicious beaded man now.
I do feel more confident at the very least, but I think these pearls pale in the amount of confidence an OK Storytime membership can get you.
That's right. You get 60 plus hours a month of exclusive live stream content. That's advice that'll make you the best version of yourself.
It's only $5 a month, so go to the link in our description, youtube.com/OKOP show/join.
Crack open that oyster and get the blues. But let's get back to the story.
I knew the shape and everything would be perfect for me, but I felt it wasn't right to buy the dress then, since this specific event wasn't about me. Trisha comes back and sees me looking at the dress, and she said, "Did you find something that you like?" I said, "I did, but it's not about me today. I'm coming back tomorrow and ordering it."
Girlie, no, don't tell her. Don't tell her.
OP, why did you not move in silence?
We don't need to tell her. her. We don't need to tell her.
OP didn't know maybe yet. So we all go back in the room and Trish tries on 1 or 2 more dresses and looks at all the new dresses looking not satisfied and said, wait, and leaves the room and comes back in with the dress that I said I was going to order. I felt my face drop and get hot and I felt like I was socked in the chest. She told the sales lady, I want to put this back on. She doesn't look at me and she puts it on. All of a sudden she loves it and it's the one. All I could say repeatedly was, I love the off-shoulder bows. And then I asked, do you want to change anything about it? And she said no. And then we had to try bridesmaid dresses on. After we left, I was sobbing the whole way home. My poor then fiance was doing everything he could to try to comfort me, making me fall more in love with him. So coming back around, this phone call from Trish's mom caused so much unnecessary anxiety. My husband found out from Joe that Trish and her mom were trying to get him to make the phone call, but he refused. We ended up meeting at a place because I texted Trish and she, quote, just wanted to know what's going on with me. Our other friend who was maid of honor for Trish came to mediate. It was so stupid. The whole powwow at the place just turned into me apologizing, which in hindsight, I don't even know what I was apologizing for. I was the one that was getting railroaded on things for my wedding and getting my feelings hurt. That same evening at the place, we somehow got into lighter conversation and Trish asked what baby names we all wanted to name our future children. Our one friend said a name that she just named her baby. I said 3 names that I wanted to name my kids.
No!
Why?
Why do you keep falling for her traps?
Everybody said that my baby names were cute. I said this specific name again several times on different occasions. When the topic came up again, we make it through everyone's wedding, and a year later, Trish and Joe have their first kid, and what does she name it? My name that I said multiple times, first and middle name. What gets me is she asked what I'd name my baby, and I said it multiple times. I want to confront her, but how? If I can't confront her, I want to cut her off. I'm just so done with her. She's showed me so many times in so many different ways. She's not my friend.
Yes.
No, duh.
Yes, we're finally catching on.
OP.
How many times do you have to let someone just like smack you in the face before you're like, maybe they're not my friend?
Have you had friends? I don't mean that in a mean way. I just like genuinely like,
yeah.
Do you not know what it feels like to be like sort of, I don't even know if taken advantage of is the right word. It's like, it feels like you're being like bullied.
Yeah.
Why I'm asking is because my husband and his best friend's relationship will suffer, and he has already been suffering. Update. After talking with a lot of you in the comments, a few things. I know I don't own the name. It's just that she's hurt me so many times. More times than I've named. I've showered her with gifts, made birthday cakes for her and her husband and brother-in-law. We never come over empty-handed. We extend invites for fun and food. I spent $700 on her baby shower gifts and just tried to be a real friend to her and share myself with her. It hasn't mattered how good I was to her. She has continually done things to slight me or cause rifts where this feels like this was done purposefully. Yes, it was. Do not listen to any of
Obviously, it was done purposely. Obviously.
Also, someone said that Trish's mother was in the right. How is a bridesmaid dress more important than my wedding dress? I was a bride first, and my alterations and corset took until Wednesday before my wedding. My bridesmaid dress was off Amazon with 2-day Prime shipping with no alterations needed. The other bridesmaids did the same thing. Also, Trish and Trish's mother have my cell phone number. Why try to force Joe to call my husband? Why call my husband when you can talk to the problem, so to speak, yourself? Second, again, after talking with you all, I started to think about where I got the name from and remembered. It makes me think I actually won. I got the name from my sister's father-in-law's family dog. Their first language is Spanish, and I loved the way it sounded in their accent. The middle name is from my husband's other best friend. I still intend to use this. And by the way, I hope that you intend to listen to full episodes with stories like this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Storytime. And a little birdie has told me we have 47 days worth of podcasts.
So you better get cracking.
Yeah.
You got some time.
You should have started yesterday.
Yeah.
My advice here
Stop being
would
friends
be,
with her.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Stop being friends with her and also like learn maybe what a friend is. It feels like you've done everything.
Learn what a friend is.
Completely one-sided.
Oh, yeah.
This person has taken money from you, has taken gifts from you, has taken baked goods from you, and has given you nothing but hostility.
Yeah, she's
like
terrible.
Underneath
She's
a very, very thin coating of nicety. And honestly, like,
I just can't imagine having a friend who like is obviously copying me. And I'm like, okay, well then I don't want to be your friend
Is there a
anymore.
respectful way to copy?
Well, you ask. You say, hey, like, I really love that idea. Do you mind if I, like, do that for my wedding?
Third, I am now relieved that she took the name and I didn't name my baby that. I'm still salty that she asked the name, but it softens the blow knowing her baby is named after a crusty dog. Double edit here. I've seen a few people ask the name. The name was Forrest Edward. Update number 2, we were at a Christmas party and I had zero chill. Finally, I started with a gray rocking to stonewalling or just walking away when she came up to me. But she kept approaching me and it made me angry that she just keeps acting like she didn't do anything wrong and that we're cool after all of this. It's safe to say I blew up the friend group and now mostly everyone knows I named their baby. Just not the dog part. I don't feel bad, but my husband said it was a see you next Tuesday move. I would be like, hey husband, shut up.
Shut up, husband.
Why are you defending that? Why isn't your husband supporting you?
Why isn't your husband supporting you?
Cancel your husband.
But that is the end of that story.